So I don't know what I'm hanging my hat on if I'm Dallas. Like the Eagles, we know. Hell, they got a Super Bowl MVP at quarterback. That secondary's nasty. The front seven's incredible. Elite running back in Saquon. The coach, we'll see. The offensive line, elite unit, top 10 unit. So that's the only reason I still like the Eagles.
Right. No, I get that. And that's all of that is incredibly fair. And you're 100% right on all that stuff. But doesn't it feel just like there's a turd the punch bowl in Philadelphia?
Something, I don't know what you got sources. You talked to all these teams. What's the deal with Jalen Hurts? Why is he getting beat up? It's a make or break year for Hurts. What?
It feels to me, for whatever reason, and again, this is just a feel. I don't have any inside information on this. That something's off. And and I can't tell you. I can't tell you what it is that's off. I will tell you this, man. And like that position has got to be a position where when everything goes exceptionally well, Jason, quarterback position, you've got to deflect 100% of the praise to your teammates. Got to. It's the position. It's part and parcel of playing quarterback. And when things go wrong, you've got to accept 100% of the blame. You've got to stand up, you can't throw 4 interceptions and go, hey, man, my receiver broke off the wrong route. My offensive line didn't protect me. You got to stand up at the podium and go, I got to be better. That's on me.
Is he not doing that?
I don't know. I have no idea. Inside the line, he may not do it on the podium. I don't have any idea. But if that becomes a perception in a locker room with your quarterback, then your guys are just not really going to rally around that guy.
It is, it's weird because you go to the Super Bowl 2 times in 4 years, and A.J. Brown's like not happy because he's not getting enough targets. It's just, I'm sure you've seen the reports, and I don't know how much there is. Hey, A.J. Brown had his wedding, and Jalen Hurts wasn't there. I don't know. What happened if John Elway didn't invite you to his wedding? Would you have been torn apart? I don't know. The dynamic is I can't understand.
I think you have to understand the dynamic behind that. Like when I sat and talked when they first got together in Philadelphia after the trade, and I was doing an Eagles game, that they couldn't have been more excited. They went on a recruiting trip together. Right. This is how I remember it. And I'm paraphrasing, and I hope I don't get this wrong. But it started off like on a recruiting trip to college together. They chose different schools. But from that point forward, they became best buddies and were every day.
Okay. And things change. Most people are not best friends forever. Okay. That's just the way it is. People evolve, people change. But wow. I mean, I don't know why Mark went on a whole rant about like taking responsibility and giving. Jalen Hurts is the ultimate quarterback who gives credit to everyone else. Like oh my gosh. Guys, this is Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl. Of having one of the best games he's ever played. He's about to finally win the Super Bowl and is about to be the Super Bowl MVP and get his revenge back on the Kansas City Chiefs. This is peak on top of the world. And this is what this man says.
Hey, man, that's you. That's you. Come on. That's you. All of us, man. I know it's all of us, but you don't understand the difference you made. We right there, but you like that last piece, man.
That's what Jalen Hurts is saying to Saquon Barkley. In the absolute peak of his NFL journey, he's about to become a Super Bowl MVP. Get redemption, revenge, whatever you want against the Kansas City Chiefs. The quarterback that was doubted every single week in 2024. And they said if he didn't win the Super Bowl, if the Eagles didn't win the Super Bowl, it's going to be because of Jalen Hurts. And now he finally gets to win that Super Bowl and prove every one wrong. And he immediately gives a Saquon goes up to him and says, you know, Jalen Hurts going to finally smile now. And he said, oh, you know, when the clock strikes zeros. And you know, Saquon is trying to be like, it's you, Jalen, it's you. And he's like, no, man, it's you. That is the perfect moment for Jalen to be like, I told y'all, I told you we were going to do it. I told you I was going to get us there. I told you I was going to, you know, like, I told you. He didn't do any of that. None of that. He immediately was like, it's you. It's you. It's you. And like I showed you guys that clip before, you know, when he gets in a fight with Chris Jones. Chris Jones is like, you threw for only 100 yards. And he goes, we won the game. And if someone was self-centered, if someone was egotistical, if someone did not know how to handle the locker room, he would have said, what did I do to y'all last time we played? Yeah, that's right. The last time we played, I was the MVP. I'm the one that did this. I'm the one that did that. I. He said, we won the game. That's what he said. We won the game. And I'm not going to show you the video of Devontae literally crying to Jalen. Like Jalen doesn't put blame anywhere else. Like that, and it's like Mark is like, well, I don't know. He's like, Mark's not saying that's the case. Like he's not saying Jalen Hurts does that, but he's like, why are we bringing it up right now? Like it doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And we know it. AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts don't get along anymore. That's the reality. Brandon Graham revealed that like in 2024, and then he had to walk it back. They're not close anymore. It's a bummer. It's the way it happens. Jalen Hurts is a grown-up. That's the reality. When you're a grown-up, you say goodbye to people. That's just how it happens. It's the way it happens. And you know what's so interesting? Because earlier in this segment, and this was about the Raiders, this is what he had said, and this is what he had to say. And this is what I talk about all the time. I try to emphasize this. I have different examples of this with Greg Cosell talking about it. I bring it up plenty. Now we have another person, Mark Schlereth, bring it up. And listen to what he says. And again, this is him just talking about football in general, but yet this is exactly what the Eagles have done for years now. And this is what makes it so much harder for Jalen Hurts. Just listen. Just take a deep breath and listen.
And part of the offense is we're not relying on just our wide receivers to go out there and win one-on-one matchups, man. We are going to run the ball. We're going to set up our play action stuff. We're going to create chunks based upon the way we call plays. And so sometimes in an offense like that, can you get by without having a premier kind of X, you know? And the answer would be, yeah, we think we can. But that premier guy that runs that X, when you get those one-on-one opportunities, man, he makes it a whole lot easier. There's no question. So, this is part of the building process of the Raiders. I think.
So, again, the Eagles have consistently heavily relied on we're not gonna try to scheme these things. We're not going to try to have these premier core plays and this philosophy that's going to then expand from all of this. It's just Saquon, run real fast. AJ, win that one-on-one. Like that's what it's just consistently been. And yes, when you have a premier guy like AJ Brown, can it make some of those one-on-ones easier? For sure. But when your O-line isn't great, and when AJ Brown's not winning one-on-one, and he's not playing at the top of his game, it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder. And that's why when you look to coaching and you're saying, hey, coach, do you have some solutions to this? And the coach is like, I don't know. I don't know. And that's literally what happened. And so you want to keep lumping that on Jalen Hurts? And then we want to talk about Jalen Hurts' locker room presence or how, when Jalen Hurts throws 4 interceptions, he had one of the lowest interception rates in the entire NFL. Okay, he had one definitely not great game. And you know what? The receivers were not doing a good job. Did Jalen Hurts contribute to some of those turnovers? Absolutely. Was he the sole reason why? Absolutely not. AJ Brown even admitted it himself. And you know what? There was another matchup that AJ Brown just straight up did not catch. And AJ Brown had to face the media. And they were like, what do you got to say, buddy? And he's like, But my team expects me to make those plays and I didn't do it. That's right. You didn't do it. And so when you talk about, oh, well, you know what? When we just put our players to, we put them to say like, hey, go win it for us. When they don't, you lose. And that's what happened against the Chargers. That's what happened against the 49ers, is that the players literally dropped the ball. That's how that unfolded. Straight up. Again, I've said this so many times. Jalen Hurts has all the ability to change the plays at the line. They ran the RPO so heavily with Kellen Moore. Jalen Hurts' numbers were down. Okay, his usage was down. Everybody kept talking about him being a limiting factor. Everyone kept talking about how he's been this, that, blah, 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 blah. And yet he never decided to put himself in a position to be the main guy. He never was like, I'm keeping it, I'm throwing, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. He never did that. He ran the offense exactly as asked to do. And it led to one of the most successful seasons of all time. With one of the longest win streaks, one of the most dominant playoff runs of all time, with record-breaking performances. Like, he ran the offense that was asked of him flawlessly. Flawlessly. And he was never like, it's me. He never once tried to take over a game. And in fact, the one game that they needed him to take over, he took over and then gave credit to everybody else. Do you understand how insane that is? Do you understand how humble that is? Do you understand how remarkable that is? It's pretty impressive. It's incredibly impressive, and it's incredibly rare. Because you know what? It's also authentic. Say what you will about Jalen Hurts. You can say a lot of things about him. Inauthentic is not one of them. And so we got a lot of people giving lip service at the mic. We got a lot of people giving lip service when they're talking to the media. Jalen Hurts is having a one-on-one private conversation with Saquon Barkley, and he's like, it's you. It's you. And then even when he throws that dagger and the O-line is going nuts for him, said, I love when they doubt you're the man. He just goes, I know. Like, that's it. He was just like, I know. He wasn't like, what do I always tell you? This is who I am. I'm built for this. Like, he didn't do that. He wasn't saying nothing like that. He just went, I know. Like, he was barely even reacting to it. He wouldn't have even reacted to it if it was like Mylana picked him up. I think Lane Johnson did. Like, everybody was like, you're the man. And he was just like, I know. Like, he just, he gave like kind of like a funny, like, I know. Like, it was like even like a humble way of being like, yeah, I know I'm great. It wasn't like, that's right. That's who I am. Like, because are you kidding me? Like, this is his peak moment. He's in the Super Bowl. He just threw an unbelievable dagger of a pass to just absolutely finish the game. You cannot get to a higher level than Jalen Hurts did in that moment. And yet he was still just like totally chill about it. Totally chill about it. Even taking the praise towards him is just like, yeah, in a pretty humble, funny, charming way. And then giving credit to, everyone else. Ah, man, crazy. I don't get it, man. I do not get it. Wow. That's why I also just love how Mark, in a completely separate conversation, because he's praising about what the Raiders are doing and how they're looking to build this core offense with Kubiak, and how they're going to have this like core set of plays and identity, and they're going to build from it, and it's going to be so scheme based, etc., and how you can have other ways of doing it where you're just really relying on the players, like you said, like 101 to win these matchups. And it's just like, that's what Jalen Hurts has been doing. That's what Darius Slay has talked about. That was the other person who I pointed that out for. It was Greg Cosell, Darius Slay, etc. And it's just like, that makes it really hard for the quarterback. Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it's just, yeah, sure, I just throw the 50-50 ball to AJ. And in theory, that sounds great. Why is that not how Sean McVay runs it? Why is that not how Kyle Shanahan runs it? Why is that not how the GOAT Andy Reid handles it? Why is that not how Mike McDaniel did it with Tom Brady? Why is that not how Kevin O'Connell does it? Why? I don't know. Why is that not how Clint Kubiak did it with Sam Darnold? Weird, right? Weird? Yeah. Go figure. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Philadelphia Eagles, A.J. Brown, and the drama with Jalen Hurts? And, I don't know, man. There's just some issues there still. There's just some issues. Maybe it has to do with the guy who's leaving the building. I don't know. You tell me. Let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions, get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. Please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you a part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be a part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.